Okay, so we're going to talk about stem and leaf plots. So a stem and leaf plot is just a way of organizing your data. The leaves is typically the last number in your number, and then the stem is the other numbers. So if we look at this, say we have 18.1. 18 is our stem, and the 1 would be our leaf, because leaves come in groups of 1 on most branches. So you think about this as your stem and then your leaves. So this stem is 18 and the leaf is 1. This stem is also 18 with a leaf of 1. This stem is a 21 with a leaf of 0. And yes, you put the 0 for the leaf. The stem here is 19 with a leaf of 2. The stem here is 19 with a leaf of 3. The stem here is 18 with a leaf of 0. Remember that your leaf is always the last number within the digits. So your stem is 19, a leaf of 5. Stem is 20, leaf of 6. Stem is 20, leaf of 9. Stem is 20, leaf of 7. Stem is 19, leaf of 0. Stem is 18, leaf of 5. Stem is 20, leaf of 8. Stem is 21, leaf of 4. So I'm just going to list all of my stems. I'm only going to list each of the stem numbers one time. So if it's a duplicate, it only gets listed one time. So we have 18. I already wrote 18. Now I have 21. So I'm going to write that down here. And because I know that it goes 18, 19, 20, I'm still going to put those stems there even if there's no leaves. If there's no leaves that go with them, then we're just going to leave it blank. So we have 21. We have 19, we have 19, we have 18, 19, 20, and 20 over here. Then we have 20, 19, 18, 20, 21. So we have 4 stems. We have a stem that starts with 18, we have numbers that start with 19, we have numbers that start with 20, and we have numbers that start with 21. So this little separation right here is going to act like our decimal point. So I'm going to put a little decimal down here. So now we're going to list our leaves in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to take all of the numbers that have a stem of 18 and I'm going to write them out to the side in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to go ahead and circle them first, and as I use them, I'm going to erase them. So that's an 18, that's an 18, 18, 18, and that's all of my 18s. So I have 18.1, 18.4, 18.0, and then I have 18.5. Okay, so now I need to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. The 18s are all the same, so I'm going to look at their leaves. So the smallest one is 0. So I'm going to put that 0, 18, decimal technically, 0. Mark it out. Then the 1 goes next. So I have 18 decimal, and I'm going to put a 1 right beside that 0. Then I'm going to mark it out. 18.4 goes before 18.5, so it's going to go 18.01, and then I'm going to put the 4 because that's my next largest number. And the largest number out of all of them is 18.5 out of the stems of 18. So 18 point, and I'm going to put a 5 next to the 4. So I have 4 numbers that start with 18. I have 18.0, 18.1, 18.4, and 18.5. These 4 numbers right here. So now I'm going to move over to my next stem, and going down my list, my next stem is a 19. So any number up here that is a 19, I'm going to utilize. Let me go ahead and mark out my 18s. I'm going to go ahead and put a circle around anything that has the beginning numbers of 19. So 19.2, 19.3, 19.5, 19.0. I'm going to list those numbers here again. 19.2, 19.3, 19.5, and 19.0. Once again, I'm going to order these in order from least to greatest. So this one goes first, second, third, and fourth. And once again, I'm just looking at those leaves because the stems are the same, so they don't really matter. So that's where I look at the leaves and go from least to greatest. So now when I list these, I'm going to list them in the order of 19.0. Then it's going to go 19.2, so it's going to have a 2 right here. Then it's going to go 19.3, so I'm going to do a 3 next. And then it's going to go 19.5, so I'm going to do a 5 next. So that's all of our stems that are 19s. And now I'm going to mark them out. So stem and leaf plots are really, really easy as long as you identify that leaves are the last numbers and then your stems is everything else. So now I'm going to do my 20s because that's my next number of my stems. So anything that's a 20, I'm going to go ahead and circle it. So I have 20.6. I have 20.9. I have 20.7 over here. And then I have 20.8 right there. So now I'm going to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. The stems are the same, so I'm just going to look at the leaves. I'm going to find the number that's the smallest, second smallest, third smallest, and then the largest. So 20.6 is going to go first, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9 in that order. So it's going to go 20.6, 20.7, 20.8, 20.9. So I did 20.6, 20.9, 20.8, and 20.7. So I've utilized all of those numbers so far. So my last one to deal with is the stem of 21. So any number up here that starts with 21, I'm going to go ahead and circle it and list it off on the right-hand side. So we have 21.0, and then we have 21.4. Go through my list, make sure I didn't miss any, and I'm good. So now I'm going to put these in order from least to greatest. You know that 0 is smaller than 4, so it's going to go 21.0, 21.4. So now if I make a key for this, it's going to be, I'll just use the 21.0, or maybe the 21.4. Either way, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do 21 point, actually I'm going to do the line, and then I'm going to do a 4, is the same as 21.4. That's our key. That's telling us how to read the stem and leaf plot. It's telling us that this line right here is the same as this decimal right here, that's where the separation is. Another quick thing to do is just to count your numbers up here and count your number of leaves, and then that'll tell you to make sure that you didn't miss any numbers. So we did use 21 and we did use 21.4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to count the number of leaves. The number of leaves should match the numbers that are up in my data set. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have all 14 numbers in my stem and leaf plot. Now, we're going to interpret the stem and leaf plot, and all that means is we're going to find our mean, we're going to find our median, we are going to find our mode, and we are going to find our range of the data sets, just like you did whenever you did dot plots. So I'm going to go with the easy one first. I'm going to go with the mode. So any number that has the leaves that duplicate themselves within one stem, so we have no mode. Now I'm going to take the range. So I'm going to take the largest number, which is this one found all the way to the right hand of the last stem. So that's 21.4, and I'm going to subtract the smallest number, which is this stem and this leaf. It is always the first leaf, first stem, last stem, last leaf. That's your largest and your smallest. 4 minus 0 is 4. Borrow from this. This becomes an 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. So our range is 3.4. All right, moving on up, median is the number in the middle. So there are 14 leaves. If I take half of 14, that is 7. So I'm going to count 7 leaves from the bottom and then figure out where is it going to land me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to land me in between 19.3 and 19.5. So let's think logically. What number falls between 3 and 5? And if you don't know that, you can do 3 plus 5 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. So this number right here, the median of this set of data, is 19.4. Super, super easy stuff. All right, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the mean. So we're going to take all of these numbers, add them all up, and divide by the number of leaves that we see. And remember, we saw 14 leaves, so that is what we are dividing by. Whatever the total is, divided by 14. So let's go ahead and add those. So we have 18.0, 18.1, 18.4, 18.5. I'm going to add each of my stems individually, and then I'll add all 4 of them together. That way I don't have 14 numbers to add together. So that's 0, 1, 32, 33, carry a 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 73. Now I'm going to add 19.0, 19.2, 19.3, and 19.5. Five plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 0, carry a 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 is 37. Carry a 3, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 77. Now I'm going to add together all of my 20s. So 20.6, 20.7, 20.8, and 20.9. Now once again, you can add all 14 of these numbers together at one time if you want, or you can just separate them into smaller groups and make your life a little bit easier. 20.6, 20.7, 20.8, and 20.9. That's 13, 21, 30, 0, carry a 3. That's just a 3, because 3 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is still 3. 2, 4, 6, 8. So this one is 83. So my 20 stems adds up to 83. And now I'm going to do my 21 stems, which the good thing here is there's only 2 numbers. 21.0 and 21.4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So this is 42.4. Now all I have to do is add those 4 numbers together. So that's a 4 because those 3 would technically have zeros. So that's 10 and 15. Carry a 1. 14, 15, 23, 27. So we have 275.4, and we're going to divide that by 14. Okay, so we're going to go top in, bottom out. Top number is 275.4. That is our dividend. It is the number that goes inside. And our divisor is 14. So if I have 2, I cannot make groups of 14. If I have 27, I can make one group of 14 with 13 remaining. If I have 14 into groups of 135, I know that 14 times 10 is 140, which is relatively close, but a little too much. So I'm going to go down just by 1, and I'm going to make this a 9. So over here, I'm going to check myself. 14 times 9, that's 6 and 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, so that's 126. 15 minus 6 is 9. Bring down the 4. If I have 94 and I want to make groups of 14, I know it has to be less than this. So I'm going to try a 5. So that's only 70. So I think I can go one more time. So that's 4 and 2, so that's 84. And if I go one more time up, if I do 84 plus 14, that's going to give me 98, which is just a little too much. So I'm going to make this a 6. That leaves me with 10, and I'm going to bring down another 0. If I have 100, I want to make groups of 14. I just said that if we do 14 times 7, that's going to give us 98. Okay, and we're going to round this to our nearest tenth. So this place right here is our tenths place, so we're going to look at the 7. If the 7 that I'm using to round, if the number I'm using to round is a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9, it has the power to add one more. If it is 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, it just goes away. So 7 is 5 or more, so I get to add one more. So my answer is going to be 19.7. Because all of these numbers are pretty much clustered together and there's no crazy outliers, in other words, there's not one that says like 90.8. then my mean and my median are going to be relatively close as long as these numbers in your data set are relatively close.